Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the beautiful city of Trainsville, where things are actually going pretty well, and that's the first time I've said that and actually really meant it, because things are going pretty well. Those first three episodes were kind of tense. There was a lot of grids. There were a lot of people saying that grids were boring. There were a lot of people saying the grids weren't boring. And there were a lot of people saying, hold on a minute, why didn't part 2 and 3 have intros and outros? The reason for that is because that was one, like, 90-minute-ish recording session that was cut into 3 episodes. I don't know if I've mentioned it in a Cities Skylines video yet, but I have a week in Seattle at the end of August. Well, August 30th until September 5th. Then from September 20th until October 8th, I'm in Sweden for 16 days and then London for 3 days. So videos are going to be a little shorter, and I'm recording them all sort of in one go to make sure there's videos going out while I'm away. That also includes August. I need to make sure I have videos for August before I can have videos for September. So that's what's going on there. I want to make sure you have videos, basically. Now today, what we're going to do is we're finally going to get some trains. We are finally going to break the pattern that we have going on here, and we're going to get some trains, basically. And what I'm thinking we're going to do is, well, I say we're going to break the pattern. What I'm actually going to do is use some terraforming here to just smoothen out this area over here to see if we can make it all a little better looking, and see if we can initially actually continue the pattern that we have. Now, the reason I want to continue the pattern that we have is because I'm thinking if we put some high density zoning up in this corner, right, we can clear out this space in here and have this be like a train station in there. You know, some big old train station that's going to look beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we are going to, like I said, sort of continue the pattern. So this is going to go all the way up to there. This is going to come out to there. That's going to connect that way. And you are going to connect down like that. Alright, so that's totally fine by me. What did I connect over there? I did... Oh, I do only connect to one lane on the sides there. I didn't realize I was only connecting there, but that's actually all right by me. So let's go ahead and just change up that road as well. So that's now a little sort of roundabout thing. This can be deleted here. And what we'll do is also continue this road straight through. So we're going to get another little roundabout just there. And we're going to get another little roundabout just there. And that should be fine. That's actually, is that supposed to be a one-way road? I don't think it is. So two-way road just there. That's one of the little roundabout things. And then this just, I believe, continues straight across like so. So this space in here, I'm going to clear it out and I'm going to put a train station in there. That's why I'm doing all of this. That's my thinking there. But I don't want to do it until I have this area building up, because if we do, we run the risk of dropping the population back down beneath 13,000, or sorry, 12,000, which we really don't want to do. Now what I'm also going to do is use a bit of traffic management here just to set up the junctions correctly. So you are going to be able to go into the junction. I think, hold on, am I doing it the right way? No. Yes? No. What way have I done the junctions over here? Where are we looking? We're looking here, I think. So, yeah, it's always... What way have I done this? I've done this in a very strange way. I'm not quite sure what way I've done it. I feel like... So, from this side, you can go into the junction despite it being full. Then you can go into the junction despite it being full. Then you can there, but can't there. So you should be able to do that. Basically, everyone should be able to move into a junction despite... you know, potentially blocking traffic, I think is what I'm realizing here. Which looks like it's causing more issues, I'm gonna be honest. Definitely looks like it's causing some slight problems. But we're gonna let that be. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna do the same thing. You can move into the junction, so can you. So can you, and so can you. Similar story there, and there. So yeah, that'll let people move around there without too much hassle. We're gonna want the same thing on this one as well. So junction, 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 junction. Same on all of those. So that'll just let people move around, which is what we want to do. Now, we do seem to have some issues with crime across the city, so I do actually want to step up and deal with that. Jail availability isn't very good. So I'm going to throw a large police station there. I think that'll be a good spot for it. That'll give us some good coverage. And then I think over here, I want to throw a smaller police station just into that spot right there. And again, that should give us some pretty good coverage. Now, something else I do want to do today is I do want to see if we can get another highway connection over here so that the industrial traffic doesn't have to go through this one main roundabout. That's a thing people have been talking about for quite a while. People have really wanted to get more highway connections. They've wanted me to build them for a while, so we're going to try and get that done. And hopefully that'll work out pretty well for us. Traffic's not moving around here very efficiently at all. It really would make more sense to turn that into another roundabout, wouldn't it? That might not be a bad idea. Maybe not quite as big as this one, but let's see what we can do real quick. So the roundabout, I mean, what's the distance between those? What's the price? The price is $7.20. Oh. All right. I don't know. Hold on. If I go there and there, it's 4 units. So there is basically where I need to be for this roundabout. No, there? Yeah. So that spot right there. And turn off the road guidelines real quick. So if we go there and there, yeah, that's perfect. Except if I remember correctly, I had to do tiny little bits of road here, didn't I? If I'm not mistaken. So I had to have that, and I had to have that. And then it would let me do the curve. Which is fine. That's totally fine. So you're gonna go there. Actually, hold on. Bulldoze all of that. If I do it this way, I think it might work. So we don't have to do the tiny little section of road. Because all we need is the intersection, right? We only need yeah. So that totally works right there. So connect all of that together, just like so. That's all gonna get turned into a 3-lane highway, because obviously. So just connect all of that up, turn that around. That's going the right way. It's all going the right way. So bulldoze everything in the middle. And there we go. We have a roundabout. So we'll see how traffic flows around that. Hopefully a lot better than what it was doing. Definitely looks a lot better. Which actually reminds me, just while we're talking about traffic flow and all that stuff, between episodes, I did go ahead and put in new districts, just so that traffic is going to be encouraged to stick to the main avenue roads and all that stuff. So hopefully that's not going to cause too many issues. Going to just go ahead and extend the districts a little bit as well, just in order to keep them relatively uniform and all that stuff. So there we go. Get that in there. Get that extended, down, and across. Tidy it up a little bit. And that right there is much better. Now we do have demand for... Ooh, that is still backing up like crazy. Yeah, we're gonna need to figure out... We'll figure out traffic. We'll get another highway connection shortly. What we're gonna do, though, is we're going to extend the pipes. So let me just bulldoze this for a moment. And then extend this pipe right up to there. And right across. And then we just bring them through the way we've done this entire time. Just like so. Bulldozing the vertical pipes there. And that looks pretty good to me. So what we can do is throw in some high-density residential zoning in there. And when that builds, we can clear out this space down here. Just to, actually, you know what? Honestly, we could probably clear out this space immediately. Then bulldoze the roads, because we don't really need them. bulldoze the houses because we don't really need them, and hopefully that's not going to hurt the population too much. But the idea is that we are basically going to throw a train station in there. I am thinking we could throw this in, which is enormous. It's $60,000 as well, but could be really useful. Could be really, really useful. So I'm thinking about it. Definitely thinking it's an option. We could turn, you know what? Hold up. Let's try a thing here. Let me try a thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend this. I'm gonna make that a small, little small gradient there. 1, 2, 3, like that. And 1, 2, 3, like that. And flip it. Then over here, we want to do a similar thing. We want to try and keep it level. So bring that to like that height. Bring that to like, I don't know, that height. We can adjust these, of course. But then just bridge like that and bridge like that, right? And my thinking here is if I'd done that better, we would have had a space for the trains to go, but unfortunately I didn't do that very well at all. Yeah, that didn't really go according to plan, I'm gonna be honest. The idea was more like we'd have this kind of thing going, but that is by no means all that realistic. Yeah, that looks kind of dumb. I was hoping I could figure out a good way to have a bridge there for the trains to go under, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen, and that's kind of unfortunate. But, maybe we do, I mean, we could start with this, right? But then the train line, because we have 2 train lines. We have one down here and one over here, somewhere there. My thinking is we can bring those both into this kind of station, so... Oh, you know what we could do here? We could totally go ahead and change this road here into that kind of road. Delete you for a second. Bring this road straight up like that. And, that gives us a little roundabout. This right here goes straight across, so you go straight to there. That gives us a little roundabout. And then the big old train station goes there. So it does, you know, it's on its own road and all that stuff, which is gonna be interesting. But I think that'll kind of work. Those roads there are a little bit steep, though. Can we just, like, adjust that slightly? And then maybe lower this one slightly? Just so those roads are a little bit less ridiculous. And then all we really need to do, I suppose, is level the terrain around here. Unless we just flatten the terrain, which is another option. I think we'll just flatten it for the time being. Then figure out how that's going to work a little bit later on. So that right, how much is that per week? 960, that's probably fine. So what we're going to do at this point is bring train lines out. And I think I'm going to flatten a bit more of the terrain over here. Just so I have more space to work with, right? So we have too much soil, that's actually not a problem. So bring this out. About that far should do it. Just so we have the space to work with. It's just about there. I would love to bridge over this train station still. Like, I really would love to do that. I just don't think it's gonna let me, unfortunately. If I go there, and then there, I'd have to turn pillars off, and I don't think, do I even have no pillars on? I don't think I do. That's unfortunate. I can do road anarchy, I suppose. So like that, basically. Like if I say go there, right? That's not actually bad. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. That's a problem, obviously. That right there is not quite what we want, but yeah, that ain't bad. That, I mean, yeah, it's got a bit of a weird sort of bump in it, but it kind of works. It definitely kind of works. What if we have anarchy on when we do the entire stretch of road, though? It'll just, yeah. So that'll not work. What if we do, you know, that, and then that, with anarchy? Doesn't really like that, does it? Really? Come on, cities, work with me here. So we want that to go straight out, is the thing here. We want that to go straight out, then we want this to anarchy its way down there, and this to go to there. But it's not going to let me because the space is already occupied. Really? It's really already occupied? That's interesting. Maybe we just try and get it to the same height, I guess. Come on. How is the space already occupied, man? I don't understand. Alright, we can turn road guidelines on, I suppose, and just do it that way. So there, and then raise it up to whatever the same height's gonna be. Which is not there, but I think there instead. Actually, that's still not the same height. They need to be the same. I know aesthetics don't matter, but I really want it to look good. So that's the same height there. Alright. So how does that get to down there? That is not what I wanted to do. So you connect to there. And then you connect to there. That'll do. That right there is gonna do the job. So flip all that around. And yeah. So that's a train station. With the bridge going over it. Looks ridiculous, but it's gonna do the job. We can actually put some buildings alongside this, which I think I would actually like to do. We can maybe put some commercial buildings in here just to, you know, have some people going around the area. I think that'd be nice. So a road there and a road there are certainly not gonna hurt. That road actually needs to be a little bit longer. So about there. Yeah, those will certainly not hurt. And what we can do at this point is finally connect the train line. So you are gonna come in and you are actually gonna sort of curve that way towards the little hill there. Actually, no, you're not. You're gonna come straight in to about that point. We'll turn off road anarchy and we'll raise this up quite a bit, apparently. Let's not do that. So to about there and have it go at a fairly reasonable slope, I think. And then straight across is kind of what we're really going for. If we can, of course. So that's still fairly level. Space already occupied is going to be an issue. That's still fairly level. That's still fairly level. I mean, it's sloping down, but what can we do? You know, what can I do? So let's try and keep this as level as we possibly can. Still fairly level. And then to the ground over here. And that should be fine. So there we go. We have our bridge going over the highway. It's not the most level in the world, but it'll do the job. Then the train needs to come down. Needs to come down along the hill. And then needs to have road guidelines turned on so we can get that to have a real nice curve right there. Just like that. So there we go. People can now get into the city via train, and that's good. What we now need to do is get them to be able to get into the city via the other train. So, underground right there. And I am running low on money, which is a bit of a concern, but I'll make it work. So curve it like that. And then bring it above ground. Which is kind of unrealistic. Like, you can tell there's a big slope in there, but it'll be fine. Let's just bring this straight up. This is actually running fairly parallel to the city right now, which is good news. Curve it that way, still running parallel to the city. Actually, let's give that a bigger 90-degree turn, just so it's a bit more realistic. So a 30-unit 90-degree turn. Then it's going to run straight. This is actually really expensive. Like, really expensive. I'm going to take a $60,000 loan. Just so I can make sure I get this actually finished. I want these two connections. Not enough money. Really? I just paid off my loan. Oh. Okay. Whoops. Okay, whatever. We should be fine. I think we have the money to make all this work anyway. Or we have the income to make this work. And with that connection right there, we now have people finally using the train lines, which is actually a pretty big deal. So people are finally going to be using the train lines. I'm going to get rid of this. It's a really ugly bridge. And I'd rather traffic go around the train station, to be honest. I think it's just going to be a little better if traffic goes around the train station. We probably should also get buses up and running. That is another thing we should do. But in the meantime, let me throw some... I do want more zoning in here. We do have a big demand for industry, but we also have a big demand for more garbage disposal, which is making me think that we do have incineration plants, right? We do, but the incineration status is not, well, funnily enough, garbage is where the incineration status happens to be right now. So that's great. Is anyone actually waiting for this right now? No. This does allow intercity trains, though, so eventually we will see some trains coming from out of town, which is good. That's kind of what we want. We want to see people coming in from out of town. We want to see people, you know, going here, and I do think we want to see people maybe using the buses. I think a bus depot could be a really good investment here. So let's throw a bus depot just on there. Like, right at the end of that. And we can get some bus lines moving. So, I think... Do we want each district to have its bus lines? Or... No, maybe we don't. Oh! Hold on. What if the buses initially follow the one-way roads? That's a thing they could do. You know, maybe every other block, the bus stops. Just like that. And then... Well, actually, if we had it go up and around like that, that could be kind of interesting. So sort of like that, to there, and then down and loops. So it loops around like that, right? But then what we do is we get another bus that goes the other way, right? So that one goes to the right. That's fine. So it's going to stop in pretty much all the same places, more or less. Just along that line, except for that one. Then it's going to come up. It would have to go to there, really? That seems unnecessary. Why can't it, like... Why can't it, like, why can't it go up there? I guess this one's going to stop in front of the train station. Then there... And there, and there, and there, and there, and back done. And then we have one more that's going to do the same kind of loop over on this top bit as well, which should be pretty... Oh, I see the problem. Hold on. We can make that work in a second. So this should be pretty good as well. Hopefully moving people around real nicely. Go to there, go to there... There, and done. There we go. So that should be fine. I messed up this road here. That's the major problem we were having, so that can go that way. Letting traffic flow correctly. So there we go. We have buses. And it looks like we have a lot of people wanting to use those buses, which is really exciting stuff. Hopefully we'll see some people wanting to use the trains. I haven't actually seen any trains coming in yet, so... You know, that should be fine. We do have pretty big demand for, well, everything, actually, which is beautiful news. So, I'm gonna throw, I think... I'm tempted to throw this area here into being a commercial zone. I think that could be kind of nice. But I actually, you know what, we'll go offices instead. We'll get some good jobs over here for those spaces. And I think what I may also do is... extend this road to there. But maybe have that go down to... I don't know, there, just so we can get a bit of zoning in? I don't know, that's a bit unnecessary. Extend that to there. Extend that to there. And just put a little bit more zoning in there. We'll put some buildings alongside the train tracks just to make it look kind of interesting. And that should be fine. I think that area does have water, so those guys aren't going to have too many problems. So yeah, that seems like it could be really useful. Getting people moving on buses, I think, will be a real good thing for the city. It might be worth changing the highway roads to not allow parking on them. I say the highway roads, these avenue roads, technically. But if we do that, it gives the buses a bigger area to pull into. And it also means that, what if we did trees on these? Would that look better? What if we line all of our fancy roads with trees? That could look kind of nice. Or at least the horizontal ones. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Because like you can see there, traffic can move past the bus, no problem. And I think it just looks better having that bus lane sort of carved out of the side of the road. I do like that. So these horizontal... Hey, we're a big city! We just unlocked the Crematorium, which is beautiful. We got a new 2x2 tile available. That's some good stuff right there. That is some good stuff right there. Very much okay with that. Very much. So let's get these in here as well. Just to, you know, make those roads a little bit nicer. People do like being on these roads anyway, so hopefully they will, you know, maybe be a little bit happier, because maybe there's gonna be less noise pollution, I suppose. So just like that. This one in here needs the same treatment. Technically, those bits do as well. Maybe that entire little intersection there can have the same treatment with the trees and all that stuff. That might mess up my junction restrictions, though. Well, I say restrictions. I say junction restrictions. Technically speaking, the junctions don't have restrictions because you can just move into them without any problems, but we'll not get into that. Let's set you to empty as well. I do need to make sure that all of the landfill sites start emptying, because I do want to replace those with incineration plants as soon as possible. The problem is, it takes so long to empty the landfill sites, man. It really, really does take so long to empty those. Why is that messed up? There we go. Let's upgrade you. Change all of that. Change all of that as well. That right there probably shouldn't be a one-way road. Then all of this gets changed up as well. There we go. Let's also just change up the corners, because we might as well. We'll change up these bits too. And change up that bit too. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. This corner needs a little bit of loving, as does this one. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if the buses do make a huge difference. I still don't really see anyone in there, but oh, are we having power problems, really? Yeah, we are. Okay. That tells me we need another oil power plant, which we can absolutely afford, so let's go ahead and throw one of those in there. So that power is not going to be much of a problem anymore. And I guess we also have the money to go ahead and finish up this train line, so let's just continue this straight across there. Let me do a little bit further, and then another big sort of 30 by 30 curve. Then straight up to wherever this needs to go, which is about there, and then it needs to sort of slink across a little bit to get itself to line up with that. So there we go. We have 2 train lines connected. I know we're having huge garbage problems. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We actually do have the money to get, say, 2 more landfill sites. So let me throw another landfill site. Sorry, not a landfill site, incineration plant. There and there. And hopefully those will do amazing things. This is also clearing out right here. It seems that traffic is improving slightly, which is very exciting. I really do hope we end up seeing people using this station. I know that intercity trains aren't going to be the way to do this. But until we have the money to go and do what I really want to do, which is, well, buy another tile and build effectively another city up here, we are going to be stuck with the intercity trains. With that said, have we actually... let's see. Population's fine. That's fine. Money's fine. We have constructed some decent instances of train tracks. We just haven't moved anyone by train. We may also want to grab the Crematorium, now that I think about it. Crematorium is 25,000, though. Good lord. I never quite realized how expensive everything was. You're not full, are you? No, you got plenty of space left. Okay. No, we should be fine with that. I'm also realizing that most of the traffic in this roundabout here is actually industrial traffic. And a lot of it's heading north, which is also kind of interesting. Yeah, that's a bit odd. I guess a lot of it's also going to be U-turning. Possibly, I don't know. Not really sure what's going on with the industrial traffic there, but I'm not too worried, honestly. I mean, traffic is moving, the highway's not backed up anymore, so I'm honestly not too stressed. I'll tell you what I am going to do, though. Let's go ahead and just extend the roads up here. And I know that, you know, all of the grids aren't the most exciting thing in the world, yada, yada, yada. But again, it's kind of efficient. This is a rant I had on Twitter. I went on a bit of a rant on Twitter about grids. Because, I mean, look, at the end of the day, to be honest, the beauty of YouTube is that everyone, to me anyway, this is going to sound so pretentious, but part of the beauty of YouTube is that you can find so many different people that play games so many different ways. And I play games my way, right? And I like playing it my way. And don't get me wrong. That's not to say that I don't listen to criticism. I'm just saying that, like, this to me seems like the most efficient way to do this. Because we were going for population initially. Obviously, we don't need to just go for grids anymore. But for this particular city, we'll call this right here one city. It does, to me, make sense to just stick with grids, and then when we start building another place, we can swap it out for, you know, not grids, basically. We'll go for something else. But for the time being, we're going to just stick with the grids, because I like the idea of building a thing up here so that the trains go back and forth between the two areas. That's my idea. That's pretty much what I want to do. I want to have the trains going back and forth between the two cities so that the population will grow really nicely. I also think we might break away from the pattern we've been following here, so let's throw some commercial up here. Just like so. Actually, let's not. Let's throw it in the middle. So just throw it in like that. We can tear it out of that bit because it's not needed there. Then residential can go in those tiles there. And that'll be fine. So we'll get that working, get that built, get the population up, get the money up. Traffic is backing up on the highway again, which is very unfortunate, but should be okay. I still haven't seen any intercity trains coming in, which annoys me considerably. Actually, there was some passenger service last week. Does that count? Oh yeah, we got 291 people on trains. All right, well, we actually have moved people by train. There's another intercity train. Look at this. Anyone getting off? Yeah, look at that. How many people was that carrying? Quite a few. All right. That's kind of exciting to me. That right there is kind of exciting to me. We've got our first batch of people coming in via train. And I'm quite okay with it. I am quite okay with it. That's really cool. I'll tell you what we're going to do then, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to leave it there for today. Next time, I think what we'll do is we'll really focus on getting another highway connection here. Maybe... Well, here's the thing, right? I'm thinking we're going to buy these 5 tiles here. So we'll have the river and have this space across the river as well. So we're not going to build down this way. So we'll buy this one, that one, and that one. We can build another town up there, build something across the river, have trains going back and forth. But I'm gonna buy this one right now, because I want to turn this intersection into a cloverleaf intersection, and then have a highway connection maybe going into there. Or maybe right into the middle of the industrial zone. Or both. We could do both. Either way, that's going to be my plan for the next episode. So, thank you kindly for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!